Honor. I think the chances of a CM Punk return to WWE have never been higher, and there have never been higher chances for returns of superstars you wouldn't expect to return to challenge Daniel Bryan being higher now. There are so many opportunities that have been presented to not only wrestlers but to fans now of Daniel Bryan. Really huge fan of Daniel Bryan, and I only have really 2 or 3 wrestlers that I'm a fan of when it comes to the new talent initiative. If it were up to me, Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown will consist of matches involving legends and legends only, because I'm a diehard fan of The Rock and Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker. I wish The Undertaker could be there forever, but we're not always going to get what we want as wrestling fans when it comes to WWE, and especially how they don't accept storyline ideas from wrestling fans. I'll be honest with you, I'll put it over this microphone, I would go for seeing legends wrestle more so than seeing new talent wrestlers. Who cares about Fandango versus Daniel Bryan? Who cares about Daniel Bryan versus Wade Barrett, as good of a match as that would be to represent the new talent initiative? Let's go for Daniel Bryan versus Hulk Hogan, or Daniel Bryan versus Shawn Michaels, which should have happened at WrestleMania 30, in my opinion. You could have given it a better date for Daniel Bryan to win the championship than just WrestleMania 30, but I guess circumstances presented themselves better than they never had before, and with the kid in the crowd and with how many fans Daniel Bryan had going in to WrestleMania, the Make-A-Wish kid had a chance to attend WrestleMania, Connor Michael X, which was great. I guess there were so many circumstances that just allowed Daniel Bryan to win the championship, but I think that a match like Daniel Bryan versus Shawn Michaels could have happened at WrestleMania, and a match with Batista, Randy Orton, or even the two of them could have happened at a pay-per-view as early as Extreme Rules. You could put up Daniel Bryan winning the title until Extreme Rules to give us this Daniel Bryan Shawn Michaels match, because how often is it that we see a new talented wrestler going up against a legend? We only see it at WrestleMania and possibly very rarely at SummerSlam. So I think that Daniel Bryan has a tremendous opportunity to create here. Let's hope that WWE run with the ball. They're going to be having Daniel Bryan going up against a legend like Kane. Kane is not on the level of an Undertaker or a Stone Cold Steve Austin by any means, but at least it's a legend going up against the new talent superstar as early as Money in the Bank, and we're up to 5 or 6 matches now from a one-on-one fans perspective between Kane and Daniel Bryan, and hopefully something different will come out of this match between Kane and Daniel Bryan than we've seen from the previous 3 or 4 encounters between these two, either just one-on-one matches to determine the number 1 contender, or matches for the championship. Hopefully this one will have a different outcome. I want your predictions on Kane and Daniel Bryan. You can give them to me on our Facebook page at HCW Entertainment, on our Twitter at Jonathan Clarke1, on our YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke22, and on our Google Plus page at HCW Entertainment. Let me know who you think will come away with the victory in this match. Our website's weekly poll asks you the question of who you think will win at Money in the Bank and walk out of this match as champion. Will it be Kane, your number 1 contender, or will it be your current champion, Daniel Bryan? And if you're a Daniel Bryan fan, obviously your answer to this week's poll question is going to be Daniel Bryan, because you're a die-hard Daniel Bryan fan. And I will admit to you that I'm on the Daniel Bryan fan wagon. I've always been on the Daniel Bryan fan wagon. He came in with virtually no personality at all, and WWE really gone over the top with coming up with something creative for Daniel Bryan to do. They paired him up with AJ. They had something going on between him and the two Bella twins early on in his career. He became the world champion so fast, and they didn't really do anything with that. He went from that to being just someone who was jockeying for position to be number 1 contender for the WWE Championship, and they gave him endless opportunities, and finally he wins the championship at WrestleMania 30. It's a classic boyhood dream coming true. It kind of reminds me of how Shawn Michaels won the title for the first time on March 31st, 1996. It really took me back to the Anaheim Pond in Anaheim, California, when Shawn Michaels won the championship for the first time ever and realized his dream in front of thousands of wrestling fans back at WrestleMania 12. Very similar to that. And if you were to compare the two stories, they are so similar, it is really frightening. And I really think that Daniel Bryan can be put on the same level of a Shawn Michaels or a Bret Hart because of how popular he is and just how good of a technical wrestler he is. A dream match of mine is Daniel Bryan versus Bret Hart, or Daniel Bryan versus Ric Flair, or even the two of them in a triple threat match. Let's have Ric Flair versus Daniel Bryan versus Bret Hart at any time. Either just a triple threat match to determine the number 1 contender, either just a triple threat match in general, or a match for the championship. Either one of those 3 scenarios would work perfect with me. I think it's a dream match that wrestling fans have been talking about long enough to finally see, even though the chances of it happening are second to none. But I think Daniel Bryan is just a great champion all in all. On a 5-star scale perspective, you can easily rate him at least 4.5 out of 5 stars with how entertaining this son of a bitch is. There isn't a moment that isn't entertaining when it comes to Daniel Bryan, and the fact that he was trained by Shawn Michaels gives him a psychological edge against all the wrestlers that he's going to be working with in months to come and wrestlers that he's worked with before. I mean, look at his program with The Miz and how much that did for his character in WWE. It really helped him develop a personality, and he owes a great deal of credit to Mike Mizanin for getting Daniel Bryan out of where he is now, and he owes a great deal of credit for Shawn Michaels and his assist in Daniel Bryan's career. Definitely the edge that he has with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, going back as far as the friendship between Shawn Michaels and Triple H for years, gives him an advantage over someone like Wade Barrett or someone like a Conor O'Brien when you talk about an NXT superstar or an Xavier Woods or someone like that trying to make a name for themselves in the business. Daniel Bryan is going to get the immediate push because of his ties with Shawn Michaels and the friendship between HBK and Triple H. So that's going to give him an edge, and he's going to continue to have that edge over a Adrian Neville or a Conor O'Brien or a Xavier Woods or someone else trying to make a name for themselves in the business. And I really wish it didn't work that way, but it's a huge plus for Daniel Bryan fans because that means that his reign as champion will be prolonged as long as he doesn't have a serious injury that requires for him to be out of the ring for 6 to 8 months. And it's just going to give WWE a reason to continuously push him and put him in unpredictable situations. And the thing about Daniel Bryan is his storylines may not be unpredictable, but they are fun to watch. The thing about Daniel Bryan is as long as he can get numbers over a Kane or a Wade Barrett, Daniel Bryan is going to be the one that is always pushed and always retaining the championships. The pay-per-views for the next at least 4 to 5 pay-per-views are going to have the same outcome. Daniel Bryan goes in to defend the championship against someone like an Alexander Russo or a Wade Barrett. He comes out on top as the winner because he's getting the numbers for WWE. And until Alexander Russo or Wade Barrett can get the same numbers that Daniel Bryan is getting, the same result is going to happen pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view. Daniel Bryan goes in as the champion, the defending champion, comes out on top. Regardless if he faces Russo or he faces Barrett, it'll be the same thing. Until a superstar can come on with the same amount of popularity, can come on TV and garner the same amount of respect and popularity that Daniel Bryan has right now, I don't see Daniel Bryan going anywhere, so that should give Daniel Bryan fans more of even of a reason to chant yes, yes, yes for every time Daniel Bryan defends the championship or just appears on WWE television and house shows. He's really getting over on house shows right now, by the way, as champion. He is selling out house shows, he's selling out TV tapings, he's selling out live shows and pay-per-views, and as long as he continues to do that, he's going to remain on top. And I really appreciate how they combined Brie Bella's storyline with Stephanie McMahon and Daniel Bryan together, because it makes that storyline that much more fun to watch. And given their real-life relationship, which they threw in for Total Divas Seasons 1 and 2, and with how they've thrown it in with storylines in WWE, it's just so much fun watching it, because you never know what's going to happen from week to week, either on Raw or SmackDown or just WWE programming in general. .com has been all over Daniel Bryan. They have great features on Daniel Bryan. I know they had a special after WrestleMania on Daniel Bryan's journey to becoming champion, and that was great. And they recently had a Make-A-Wish piece thrown up on their Facebook page, which I linked to ours at HGW Entertainment, on our Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1, and on our Google Plus page for our fans on there as well to check out. It was a 5-minute piece on Daniel Bryan's relationship with a Make-A-Wish child named Connor, and how far he made Connor's dream go to being a WWE superstar and meeting some of his favorite WWE superstars. It was believed that this Make-A-Wish granted by Daniel Bryan extended Connor's relationship with his father, rather. And it was a very interesting piece, very emotional piece, and it just shows just what kind of connection Daniel Bryan has with his fans and just Make-A-Wish children in general. It was so much fun, and if you haven't seen it, it's on our Facebook page, on our Twitter, and on our YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke, or on our Google Plus page at HGW Entertainment. So make sure you get in on the conversation. And on a 5-star scale perspective, you can easily rate, without question, the popularity of Daniel Bryan at least 4 to 4.5 out of 5 stars on a 5-star scale perspective, with how far Daniel Bryan has come, and just the relationship that he has with his fans is something that you can't help but notice and really put over the top. And I want your feedback on Daniel Bryan, guys, as champion. Do you want to see him continue to be popular? Do you want to see him continuously retaining the championship? Or do you think we've reached a point where enough is enough of Daniel Bryan and we need a new champion like a Wade Barrett or a new NXT superstar to come in and kind of challenge for the title? Let me know on our Facebook page at HGW Entertainment, on our Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1, and on our YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22, and you can find me now on Google Plus at HW Entertainment, where you'll find a lot of posts from our website's RSS News feed, and you'll find YouTube videos which are linked up directly to our YouTube channel at Jonathan Clarke 22, and there are a lot of links and references on our Google Plus page as well. We've been talking about it for a while, and you can catch us on Google Plus now. We've debuted recently. You can also catch a podcast of our radio show on podnova.com. All you have to do is sign up for an account on Podnova to get access to all of our YouTube videos now available for you in podcast format. You can also download our screensaver and our toolbar from our website to contribute to advertising HEW Entertainment and let us know what's on your mind. And check out our brand new field for our Twitter at Jonathan Clarke 1. Brand new header, thousands of tweets, hundreds of wrestlers and celebrities to follow for you. It's all happening at Jonathan Clarke 1. And if you haven't downloaded our app, go to the App Store, Google Play, or the official website of HEW Entertainment and download your copy now for mobile phones and devices. You can caught up on our website's RSS Newsfeed posts, our Facebook status, our tweets on Twitter, and our YouTube videos, and even more. There's options for you to call us and send us your feedback and your links for our app. You can download our app now on the App Store, Google Play, or the official website of HEW Entertainment. This week, taking a look at the popularity of Daniel Bryan one more time. We can say yes, yes, yes out of approval for Daniel Bryan. He's a hell of a lot better than MVP is right now in TNA. His numbers are really significantly higher, and this is why Daniel Bryan is one of my top 5 favorites here in 2014. We invite you to get in on the conversation on social media. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are some of the ways you can do that, and I will see you next week.
When something takes place in the world of professional wrestling, you know where to go. WrestleZone.com. WrestleZone.com. Covering all the latest breaking news daily. Interactive forums where you can chat with thousands of other wrestling fans. Exclusive editorials and audio features by some of today's top wrestling superstars. Exclusive video content, weekly polls, live play-by-play coverage of every WWE and TNA pay-per-view. And now, featuring WrestleZone Radio, live with news, in-depth discussions, debates, and interviews with wrestling's top stars, past and present. When you think wrestling, think WrestleZone. WrestleZone.com.